Live inside the Gallery Coffee Studios for Coffee with Casey on this overcast Friday. Beautiful day, though. Star-studded show as always that we have for you. Josh Cole is going to be joining us live from Miners Falls Mini Golf in just a little bit as we have the Miners Falls Mini Golf open tomorrow. Yes, no, it's a mouthful, but it's the Miners Falls Mini Golf open tomorrow, and it's from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. There are no putt-off times or tee-off times. Just show up between those, and we'll put you in the correct age bracket. If you're an 8-year-old, you cannot play in the 16-plus. If you're 16-plus, you can't identify yourself as an 8-year-old. It's not boys versus girls, anything like that. It's if you're 8, you're in that division. If you're 16, you're in that division. In 16 and older. So if you're 45, you're in the 16 and older division. So it should be a good time at Miners Falls Mini Golf tomorrow. We'll go to Josh in just a little bit. But we do have 9 trophies to give away, and we do have commemorative medals to give away as well for the people that do show up, the first few people that show up, that is. So we have first, second, and third place trophies for the 8-year-old, 8 to 11. We have first, second, and third for 12 to 15, and 16 and older. We have first, second, and third as well. So we'll talk to Josh Cole from Miners Falls Mini Golf about that in just a little bit. DJ Paquette will be in studio, and we'll talk about the the 4th of July run walk. I participated in the YMCA run walk a couple weeks ago, but the 4th of July run walk that takes place here downtown Munising, how that's going to be going on, and having the restrictions taken off all of July 1st for Michigan is huge. That should not impact anything for the 4th of July here in Munising, and I know starting June 1st, which is like a week from Tuesday, you're going to have full capacity at Comerica Park. If the Tigers were worth full capacity at Comerica Park, that will be taking place June 1st here in the state of Michigan. So stuff to look forward to and benchmarks here for Michigan, which I'm super pumped about. And we'll talk to Joe Boogren, who's running for the 109th seat. He's Forsyth Township Supervisor. Sarah Kimbinzi can no longer run as she is termed out. So they're looking for a new 109th District State Representative. And he is the first one to announce his candidacy here in the Upper Peninsula. So we're super excited to have Joe Boogren on. And I know I've done some games when I was in Gwin as a Gwin PA announcer. I just don't remember if I said Boogren or Boogren. I forget. It's neither here nor there. But at this time, this is something we have never done before on Coffee with Casey. And we are on the Rome Media Facebook page from here on out, because this is a Rome Media production that we are doing, and it's kind of like a television show on the radio now and on YouTube and Facebook Live. So we're super pumped to be on the Rome Media Facebook page now. I thought it was important to identify us as Rome Media and everything that we're doing here. So Coffee with Casey now on Rome Media, and doing things from Rome Media, we can see things differently. And Josh Cole is going to be live on location at Miners Falls Mini Golf in just a minute or two. I actually see him on my screen. I know you guys can't see him, but I'm super pumped to this because, you know, we can go live on location. So if we wanted to see Mr. Paquette in his office, we could do that now. And we're doing some groundbreaking things that other people aren't doing. And we appreciate the 15, 16, 1,800 people that are currently watching us on Facebook Live and on YouTube weekly here on Coffee with Casey as the numbers continue to grow. And I appreciate everybody that has been paying attention to us right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Liz wants to know if we have a trophy for the worst score. No, we do not have a trophy for the worst score because I think people would try to throw it on purpose to try to win some kind of medal or trophy. But let's go to Josh Cole, who's live at Miners Falls Mini Golf right now. Josh, I'm going to make sure Bryce can get to that camera. Josh, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Casey. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you, Josh. There it is right there. We are live on location. Josh Cole is at the miniature golf right now, and standing behind him and looking behind him is the waterfall hole. This is one of a couple. This is not going into the waterfall, but this is overlooking the waterfall. So, Josh, I know you're on one of the greens right there that has recently been redone. What are you seeing from these greens compared to the old greens and playing some of these greens?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot different. I mean, obviously, as carpet ages, picks up a lot of dirt, gets a lot of foot traffic, so it's trampled. So actually, a new fuzzy green is always a little slower and a little more plush.
Now, we had a chance to play this with you on Tuesday. What have you noticed about some of the holes when it comes to Miners Falls mini golf compared to what you're used to? Because I know on one of them, it's the one that goes up like this, and you have a bunch of rocks on it. I forget what hole that is, but that ball used to come back if you didn't get over the rocks. What are you seeing now out of this new green?
Yeah, definitely. Hole 7 may be a little easier now. People are familiar with hole 7 or course. Definitely, like you said, usually if you don't make it up that first initial hill, that ball is going to come all the way back off the tee box. And now we've seen it a couple times where the ball actually stopped, make it a little easier for you.
I know we have the Rome Media Miners Falls Mini Golf Open tomorrow. I know sign up is going extremely well, but you can still sign up for this thing. Isn't that correct, Josh?
Yeah, definitely. You can still either hit up either Hillside store for sure. They still have forms and you can submit money there as well. Or you can show up tomorrow and register. Just show up. We'll have a registration table. If I can get a picture of it real quick here. It'll look something like this. We'll have a scorecard, sign-up sheets, and or you can go to Miners Falls minigolf .square.site, and that's kind of like our website where you can go on there, purchase your ticket on there, and it also sends us a confirmation email that you're signed up.
And I happen to notice right there the trophies are in. To give us a look at those trophies, we have first, second, and third. The golfer, I believe, is the third place trophy, but I think these trophies are pretty sharp looking.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think we have to add a couple golf balls to the first place trophy ones, but those are the commemorative medals that we were talking about. It's 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's at Miners Falls Mini Golf Saturday. Tomorrow, if you're listening to us at 9 a.m. tomorrow, go to Miners Falls Mini Golf as it's going to be a great time. And I know, Josh, that we can't thank the sponsors enough for putting this event on. Who are some of the sponsors?
Yeah, so definitely big thanks to those sponsors. You see them on the screen there. Hillside East has always been good to me. Bear Trap Inn, Jaminot, TSB, Putbins, they're always sponsoring any kind of youth activity or any kind of community event, and then Elger County Agency as well. So we're very thankful for those sponsors.
And I think it's great that we can do stuff for the community, get the families out, get the kids out. It's ages 8 and up, and you get to play for a trophy, and that's what everybody you want. To quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the game, and I think that's great that we can do this for the community.
Absolutely, I definitely want to thank you and Bryce for all the work you put in to make this possible. When we talked about it early March, I told you I was pretty much focused on making the golf course playable and stuff like that. So big thanks to you guys for powering this event.
I appreciate you coming on this morning, and good luck to everyone that's coming out to play at Miners Falls Mini Golf on Saturday. Josh, thank you for your time this morning. I know you have some other things that you need to get done before this event takes place, but take a look at this beautiful golf course as we can go live to Miners Falls Mini Golf during Coffee with Casey now, and I think that's the absolute coolest that we can do this now. So, Josh, thank you for joining us this morning.
All right, thanks again, Casey. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Josh Cole right here from Miners Falls Mini Golf in beautiful, technically, I believe that's Wetmore, but we call it in Munising. I mean, you just go up the you just go up the M28 hill and it's right there on your left-hand side. So we look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow for the Miners Falls Mini Golf Open right here in Munising. We are going to take this quick timeout. Sitting patiently on deck, as you can see, my coffee right here in my Rome cup, is DJ Paquette, who is the principal at Mather Elementary School. He's also part of the 4th of July committee, and he's athletic director for the high school. We'll talk to him about everything that's going on, not only with the 4th of July committee, but what is taking place next in his career as we move forward. You're watching Coffee with Casey on Facebook Live on the Rome Media Facebook page. You're also watching on YouTube. You're listening on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, and of course at WQXO.com. We'll have DJ Paquette right after this.
Alger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at algerctc.org. Alger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Hey, did you get the new chicken Uber pasty from Miner's Pasties yet?
No, I didn't. Does it have the taters?
Yep.
Does it have the rutabaga?
Of course.
Does it have the onions and the carrots?
Yep, those two. It's a true Uber pasty from Miner's with all the right fillings and that perfect flaky crust.
That sounds great. How do I get one?
The same as always, down at Miner's Pasties, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 201 West Munising Avenue in Munising.
Hutphin's Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Hutphin's Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Hutphin Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Hutphin's Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
Spring is here, and that means it's grilling season. Is your propane tank ready for grilling steaks, burgers, and vegetables? If not, call Superior Land Gas because they've been trusted for over 100 years, and this is what they do. Superior Land Gas provides propane for appliances, from your outdoor grill to a 1,000-gallon commercial tank. They have the resources and training for heating your home or office. Call Superior Land Gas in Wetmore to switch or get filled up today at 387-4660. At 387-4660.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, as we are live on the Rome Media Facebook Live link, also on YouTube on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, on the SoundCloud, on Spotify, on WQXO.com. Literally, there's like a list of 6 things that we're on, so you can hear us and for your listening pleasure. And we've had this man on before, but it was only on partial duty. He says last year, when COVID really first started, we had DJ Paquette on as he was part of the 1980 Class C championship football team for the Munising Mustangs, and that was one of our most listened to podcasts that we had because we were just AM 1400 and SoundCloud and Spotify at that time, and we've added all of this since you've been on. But DJ, welcome back to Coffee with Casey, and I guess, what do you think of this new setup? Because last time you were here, we were off in the corner just kind of doing a radio interview.
Well, I have to admit I'm not a big social media person, but I know I definitely enjoyed the time with my former teammates. the 1980 team, and I do know, just going around the community, a lot of positive comments. Listened to your radio broadcast the other day. Definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, it's nice to be here. So thank you.
Now, and I know we had Pete Kelto on last time. He goes, "Oh, I thought it was here for Radio Bingo," and instead of the return to learn kind of stuff, as Radio Bingo has been a real big hit here in this community. But welcome back. And I know there's a couple things that I don't want to overshadow each thing that we're going to talk about. I want to first talk about the run walk that's taking place 4th of July and being part of that committee. What does it take to put that event on for this community and get people involved? Because it's really popular.
Well, you know, we've been very fortunate. I want to say this is our 16th year doing it. Started in obviously a number of years back, just something to get people out and then enjoy. First of all, I called it a fun run on the morning of the 4th. And then the Matson family, who's been very supportive over the years, had one of the uncles come to me, any chance we can incorporate fun run walk into this? And, you know, and that really seemed to be the key. People, again, I think we're staying away a little bit because of that fun run. But when we put the walk in there, our numbers definitely grew. And we've been averaging, I think our high is over 400. Right now, we're probably mid 300s each year. And just a great way to start the 4th here in Munising.
No, it absolutely is. And you say start the 4th because the Munising 4th of July is by far one of the best 4th of July events I've been to. And I know you're part of the committee, but it's a long day. And I know you're not, if you're a committee member, not always a part of that day. But when I say that day, I mean every event that takes place. But there's so many things that go on with the police, or not just the police, but when you have the fire and the hoses and downtown right here at People State Bank and on this corner, and then you have the egg toss, and I know you've been a part of that, and not breaking the egg and getting the people to make sure they go in the right order on the parade line. But it's a long day, but it's such a fun day, and I think Munising is one of the top 10 in the state when it comes to putting the 4th of July on. What does that mean to you being a committee member with everything that goes on and getting the accolades from people downstate about being one of the best spots?
Well, first of all, I want to clarify. I'm not a part of the committee.
Okay.
My brother Joe is, but I think
you're a volunteer.
By virtue of Joe heading up the 4th of July, I know I try to help out as best I can. I help out with the soapbox derby. I help out with the walking in the parade, obviously the fun run, and I do the egg toss, and I've even volunteered as the mystery man.
Right.
The 4th in Munising, yes. If you mention Munising, definitely the 4th of July comes into play. It's something I believe we're all hometown proud of. Whether it be our parade or our fireworks or the volunteer firemen putting on a great water fight each year, we definitely enjoy it and take pride in our 4th of July.
Now, when do you actually get the confirmation of things that are taking place? Because last time I talked to Joe is before he went down on vacation, when they announced the 4th of July was going to be back. When do you start getting word of the fire hoses being able to take place? Is that a July 1st thing? Because all restrictions are off come July 1st. I mean, do we know that's going to take place for sure?
You know, I'm not 100% positive on that, so I'd rather leave that up to a committee member. But I know with the restrictions laxing a little bit or going down, I hopefully will be back to a normal 4th here in Munising.
What did that mean for you last year when it was kind of weird? It was, I don't want to say a ghost town because it's still really busy, but it's really weird not going to like the pet show and not doing the 4th down here. Like, what did it feel like for you? Because I know it's still July 4th. It's still a day, but it wasn't the day.
Right. And I would agree with that. I know, you look forward to routines on the 4th of July and seeing people out and about and people you haven't seen and class reunion and people coming back into town. A lot of those things were missing last year, but again, hopefully that'll be restored this year.
All right. So you can get part of the fun run. How do you go ahead and get part of the fun run walk that you guys are doing?
Yeah, this year, a little bit of a challenge. No Munising news.
Right.
So we're trying to get the word out. I do have a few more committee members this year that are going to help and use social media and try to get the word out. We're going to try to have a registration again, a couple maybe at People State Bank in the lobby on a couple days. Obviously you can call me at any time and register. And again, we guarantee shirts the first 300 that register. And the race starts. The race walk starts at 8:30 the morning of the 4th, and it's a good hometown route. You start in the Bayshore Park, and you head the west on M28, go down just a little bit past Bray's Fish House, and come back on Commercial Street and up by the Lutheran Church and back to the park.
So the construction has no effect on the run walk.
As of right now, no, because we use the sidewalk,
Okay.
and my understanding that sidewalk should be intact. So
Wait till July 5th, people.
right.
DJ Paquette joins us right here on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO on the Rome Media Facebook page, also on SoundCloud, Spotify, WQXO.com. Hi, everybody. That's a close-up of me right here on the camera. We just did have the graphic up for people to get a hold of the run walk if you want to participate. I'm 100% in favor of this. I did the YMCA run walk earlier this year. Come to find out, I was a little bit better shaped than what my 8-year-old boy was, and I thought he was going to run laps around me. But I think I don't want to blame COVID on this, but you're not as active. And we haven't been as active since we've done the whole stay at home and things like that. Have you seen that? I mean, I don't mean disrespect if I say this and it disrespects you. I always call you like the Ed Hockley because you're in very good shape. I know you work out, things like that. Have you seen a lot of like the COVID body or not being able to get to like times that you were used to being able to get to?
I just think you got to prioritize and make time for yourself to get out. And I enjoy the time alone, or whether it be on my bike or just going for a walk or something. But I just think you have to prioritize that.
But I mean, I've known you for even when I was doing the ESPN stuff and you were the athletic director, things like that. You're always in great shape. Like what is your workout schedule like? I mean, do you get up at like 5 a.m.? Do you just do it like lunchtime? Like seriously, I mean, you keep yourself in great shape and you pride yourself in that.
Well, I used to try to run, but I was a shot putter and discus thrower on track. I wasn't a runner, but took up running, enjoyed that for a number of years. Now I've been hitting the bike. We have some beautiful mountain bike trails around Munising now. The mountain bike organizations did a tremendous job, and I've been trying to get out on my bike as much as possible. So
David C. Cott says, good morning from Central Indiana. Jenna Cole said, we had our own little parade on the street last year with the kids. It was a good time, but nothing compares to the large parade that goes through Munising. Can't wait. I think we all feel that sentiment at this point as well, because there is nothing quite like the 4th of July here in Munising. Now, other things are going on in your life personally. And I'd like to congratulate you, by the way, because my kid absolutely adores you at Mather Elementary School. And I know you're really, really good with the kids because they talk about you a lot. And I think that coming back, before we get to what we're going to talk about, we are going to have like that track and field day this year, correct?
Well, with things now changing, we were going to have it, but it was going to be on a much smaller basis. They were going to do it with individual classrooms, having a certain day up there. We may have to reevaluate now with things just changing. In the past, we've had a entire track and field day for the entire school.
Right.
So my school improvement team will get together and we will discuss that.
Okay. I look forward to that. I volunteered for that in the past, and just to see the kids' faces on that football field, and obviously they're not in the classroom, but they're super happy to be out there and participating. I think that's a great time. And I think it's great for the kids to be out there and exercising and competing.
Well, I always said that was my favorite day of the school year. You see 300 of Munising's finest out there competing, and the athletes everywhere. So, yes,
absolutely.
Great day.
But now we move to what you're actually moving on from Munising. How long have you? 30 years?
This will be my 35th year.
35th year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not moving from Munising.
Right.
Eventually the game plan is for Heidi and I to move to Eben, and we'll be out at her mom and dad's place. Eventually that'll happen. But right now we are both retiring. This is my 35th year in education. I've been very fortunate. 32 of those years here in Munising. And my wife is retiring as well after 31 years, and I believe 26 in Munising. She started her career out at Eben Superior Central School District.
When I introduced you to this show, I said you're part of the 1980 football team. Obviously, one of the highs of you being a Mustang. What are some of the other things that you experienced that has also been a high as athletic director?
Oh, geez. There's so many of them. Obviously our team making it to the state finals just a few years back. That was definitely a highlight. Just watching our kids compete. A couple years ago, we had the Sadler boy make it to the state finals in wrestling. That was definitely a high. We had the Abby Kelto running at the UP finals. Watching her run and compete was definitely a highlight. On a personal level, being able to host the UP finals and cross country for a number of years. I always, excuse me, I wanted to portray our community in a positive manner as the athletic director. So hosting the UP finals, our golf course, bending over backwards, going out of their way to make that available to us has always been just tremendous. Hosting events is definitely something I really enjoy.
And there's a lot of work that goes into it. It just can't be like, hey, we got a basketball game on a Tuesday. There's more to that than being athletic director. What are the challenges of being the AD?
Well, like, for example, next Tuesday, we have the conference track meet here. We'll have 12 schools here, 24 teams competing, and that's mostly run by volunteers. And to run a good, successful track meet, you have to have two things. Number one, good weather. Good weather, good track. I have always said.
I think I know number two.
And number two is, excuse me, a number of volunteers.
Yes.
It takes about 15 to 25 people to put on a track meet. And, again, without the volunteers, you just can't do that. And I've been very fortunate, and people definitely plan accordingly and help out. So we're very fortunate.
I'll get to more of that in a minute. Jenna Cole says you'll both be extremely missed in the school system. Wants to know if you're still going to plan on refereeing.
Oh, I'm sure I've got a few bad calls left in me. So yes, but no, I that's one of the things I'll definitely do in retirement. In football, that's my football fix, officiating. I've been doing that for a number of years. Keeps me active. I do a little bit of basketball and track and field. So
Ben Fulcher says Ed Hockley wishes he could wear a white hat like DJ does. Oh, that's great. DJ Paquette joins us right here on Coffee with Casey. Josie Bowerman wants to know, how do you volunteer?
Josie, just feel free to get a hold of me or get a hold of my brother. We'll definitely put you to work on the 4th. Yes.
Josh Cole says, DJ was a phenomenal mentor to me as a coach. Appreciate all you have done for me, DJ. I have to ask about volunteers because you did have to put on the stripes for officiating this year because there was a shortage when it comes to officials in the Upper Peninsula this year. And I say that because of all the games that got crammed into a 6-week period. I guess, how did it feel on the days that you had to step up and be the official? And you made sure that Munising did not miss a game, at least a home game. Mm-hmm. I know you take pride in that, but how tough was it going through the fall and winter sports schedule this year when things got delayed and set back?
Well, first of all, throughout the state, there's definitely a shortage of officials.
Right.
And, at one time, just here in Munising, we probably had 10 to 12 basketball officials alone. And we used to have different officials for every game. You'd have 2 officials come in, do the freshman game, 2 for the JV, 2 for the varsity. And now, unfortunately, for a number of reasons, myself and Pete Kelto and now Charlie, just as of this spring, are the only 3 basketball officials here in Munising.
Okay.
So if you went to a junior high game, good chance you were seeing Pete Kelto and DJ Paquette there.
I saw you during one varsity game. Did you do more than one varsity this year?
Fortunately, no.
Okay.
There was only one game, and it was we changed the date. I try to get our officials a year in advance.
Right.
So all officials for next year are already planned out, and we have a contract with them. So the new AD coming in will be in good shape that way. But there was one game, I believe it was Bark River this year, girls game. We changed the date. The officials that I had planned were not able to make that date. Looked high and low, and unfortunately, it was one of 2 things: ref the game, or myself, or don't have a girls' game that night. And we opted to have myself put on the stripes.
Well, and honestly, that's some of the challenges that you face in 2021 because you talk about getting the games in. I think the girls only had 12 games this year because of different scheduling things
right.
and things that happen with personal lives, things like that. But I think the boys' regular season had 14, 15, something like that. You're only playing 20 games.
Right.
So when you have 14, 15 games and 12 games, a lot different than having 20 games. But girls made that postseason run. Can you believe that we're where we are, we're that program where, it might not always be the best regular season, but they've won what, 3 straight districts in like 6 out of 7, something like that.
Well, I'm going to attribute that 2 things. We have tremendous head coaches. I'm very in Munising should be very proud of Matt Madsen and Terry Kinnitz. And it's being a coach, it just isn't from November to March.
Right.
It's a year-round position. And not only do Terry and Matt step up November to March, they're already planning their summer camps right now, what camps the girls are going to go to, what camps the boys are going to go to, open gyms, what summer league they're going to be in. Terry just called me yesterday. He has Sheboygan coming up here June 25th. So a summer camp. In addition to that, something that I'm glad to say I was a part of way back when my oldest, Elisa, and one of her friends, Amanda Manistow, 3rd grade, Wade Manistow, and I started our mini Mustang program, and that's been very successful. Matt, Terry have stepped up, helped to keep that going, as a number of volunteers have as well. And also, every Saturday morning, if you go down to the gym, Matt or Terry has the gym open for our little guys. So.
Well, and development is key, especially if you want to have a good program. I don't care if it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling. If you have a program like that where you can continue to get better, that makes you better athletes. And I'm a firm believer in what you guys have been doing and developing these kids and trying to keep them on the right track and develop their athletic skills.
And I agree. And, and from 3rd grade on, or again, if a 2nd grader shows interest, a 1st grader shows interest, they can get gym time here in Munising. So I'm very proud of that.
Now, I do want to ask this, and I know it's kind of an emotional question, but when do you feel like this will actually hit you? Because there's only like 20 days or so left of the school year. I know you go till June 30th,
Sure.
But when do you think this will hit you and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't have to go to work tomorrow?
I'm not sure on that. This is my first time experiencing this, but I know everyone's asking me, have I started the countdown? No, I guess after that last track meet,
Yeah.
as the athletic director, after next Tuesday, maybe a sigh will go by, but after that sometimes. But again, I don't know. It's retirement's not something you do every day. And
do you have any immediate plans? Do you plan on like going like different states or traveling, anything like that?
Well, we have a son getting married in June here. Okay. Joey's getting married. So we'll go to Breckenridge, Colorado for that. Okay. Afterwards, we'll enjoy the 4th here in Munising, and we're going to give this retirement a try and see what it has to offer.
We'll see how long you get to sit around
Right.
before you're like, I got to do something here. DJ, as always, seriously, I thank you for everything you've done. And in your past year, just this year, cross-country trophies, you had district basketball trophy, the boys basketball team, another phenomenal year with that. Football team making the playoffs after an 0-9 season a season ago. Everything seems to be going on the up and up, and we have some athletes coming up. So I think you're going to see some good things from this school and continuing that tradition that Munising has been putting together about getting the athletes better and winning districts and winning possibly regionals. But I think you have good things to come in the next few years.
Well, yes, and it all starts with a great coaching staff. And back when you had me on for the 80 show, we talked about our coaching staff then. We had dedicated coaches back in 1980. We have dedicated coaches now that are putting in a tremendous amount of time. And like you said, the kids that are in the gym, the kids that are out on the field,
on the mat,
right, everywhere. I mean, just being athletes, seldom do you see that type of student getting in trouble and not making the grade. So we're very fortunate to have the coaches that we do.
I appreciate your time. And Val says, best wishes in your retirement, DJ.
Oh, well, thank you.
So we're going to take this time out. When we come back, we are going to talk to Joe Boogren, who has announced his candidacy for the 109th district. You are watching Coffee with Casey on Facebook Live and on YouTube. You're listening to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, WQXO.com, and of course, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Joe Boogren, right after this.
Timber Products Company, a leader in diversified wood product sales, manufacturing, and transportation, is now hiring primary day shift production laborers for their manufacturing facility in Munising, Michigan. They offer many opportunities for job growth and advancement in a comprehensive benefits package, including life insurance, health, dental, vision, and prescription coverage. vacation and holiday pay, flexible spending accounts, and a 401k plan with employer contributions. Timber Products Company is an equal opportunity employer, including protected veterans and people with disabilities. See all Timber Products Company opportunities on the Careers tab at timberproducts.com. Contact Rochelle Hanna at rhanna@timberproducts.com. That's rhanna@timberproducts.com.
Miners Falls Mini Golf will be open May 22nd with the Miners Falls Open. This miniature golf tournament will have 3 different age brackets: 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and 16 and older. There's a $10 entry fee for each player, and pre-registration is required by going to Hillside Party Store, downtown Munising, Hillside East on H58, or by logging on to Miners Falls Mini Golf on Facebook. It's Miners Falls Mini Golf Open May 22nd.
There's plenty of noise being made about the new A Chicken Sandwich down at A Burger. Hand-battered fried-to-order chicken breast is topped with a one-of-a-kind tangy Bluto sauce and sweet and spicy pickles. This delicious experience can be yours for just $9.29 at A Burger, located by the stoplight in downtown Munising. Try the new A Chicken Sandwich today.
Enjoy a great meal while taking in the beautiful scenery of Hovey Lake at the Buckhorn Resort. Located on Buckhorn Road in Munising, the Buckhorn Resort has over 10 burgers to choose from. Try their signature burger, the Buckhorn Burger, a bourbon-glazed third-pound Angus beef patty smothered in chunky blue cheese and bacon, served on a home-style sandwich roll. The Buckhorn Resort opens at 11 a.m. daily, or you can call 387-3559. All trails lead to the Buckhorn Resort.
Oh, that is in the camera shot. Sorry, Bryce. Casey Ford back on Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. I can't see because there's actually a box on the right-hand side. It looked like it was clear, but it is what it is. Joining us now on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO on Spotify, SoundCloud, WQXO Munising, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Trying to get all this down, is a guy that announced his candidacy at Nordine Park in Gwynn on Monday. His name is Joe Boogren, and I've known Joe for a while now. The first time we've actually really had a sit-down talk, but, you know, your kids played athletics in Gwynn. I was the PA announcer in Gwynn. It's nice to finally sit down and get to talk a little bit, but welcome to Munising. Welcome to Coffee with Casey. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Now, it's a little bit weird because you're the Forsyth Township supervisor as we talk right now. So let's talk about that. How did you get involved in government and becoming the Forsyth Township supervisor and getting into this quote unquote political field?
Well, when I moved back home, I was born and raised in Gwynn. When I moved back home after I retired from my Navy career, I was, I had 2 boys in high school. We had a beloved member of our community who was on our school board passed away, and I was appointed to her position, and then subsequently ran again the next year and was elected to that. And we had a supervisor who was wishing to no longer hold the role. He had had it for a very long time, Joe Manelli. And there were not a whole lot of candidates or anybody stepping up for it. And I was persuaded to by a couple of friends, and it's actually been very interesting, very rewarding. You know, local politics or, municipal government, it is not the thankless job that people think. It's actually very rewarding, and you'd be surprised the number of people who come up and say, good job or whatever. Yeah, sure. There's always complaints, and that's.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter. You're going to make someone mad.
That's how you get the work done, though. Is hearing those complaints. You know, I value those people as well, because a lot of times you're just simply not aware of the situation.
Right.
So it's been fun.
Joe Boogren joins us right here, Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Gallery Coffee Company, as he's running for the 109th, as Sarah Kimbinzi has termed out now. Now, let's talk about your relationship with Sarah. What has she told you about the 109th and running? And I saw a photograph with you and her the other day.
Yes, Sarah is the person who persuaded me to pursue this position. And it was nice to have her with me on Monday. I was with her last week for a couple days down in Lansing, doing some other things, but more on the social level with Sarah. And she's a person who has very similar beliefs and opinions as I do, in a way of thinking. I take the word representative very seriously, and Sarah does. That's how she works. She believes that she's in Lansing to represent our collective voice in this region, and I think that's a good model to pursue.
Let's talk about some of your policies, because obviously Bart Stupak, I think, got this in 1989, something like that. You have Sarah Kimbinzi. We've had Tom Casperson, Ed McBroom, things like that. All these people, whether on the right side or the left side. What's your relationship with some of these people that you might be part of a different party, but at the same time you got to work together?
Right. I actually had a meeting for about an hour with Congressman Stupak. For my first personal experience with him. Obviously, I'd seen him on the ballot and voted for him many times in the past. Just an incredibly wise and competent person. It was really enjoyable to chat with him. Senator Ed McBroom and I are good friends. He's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I think Ed's carried some pretty serious water for the Central UP and his district, and I respect him for that. I think he and Sarah have a similar mutual respect for each other, and they've collectively done things for different municipalities in their shared space. As an example, in Forsyth Township, we unfortunately lost a very young firefighter last year, and I know Ben.
Yep. Know the family really well.
Yeah, and Sarah and Ed collectively took care of a lot of things to make sure that Ben was appropriately recognized at the state level, and that brought forward a bill to name a stretch of our highway out after Ben and a firefighter we lost in the 80s by the name of Don Reiling. So those are small things, but they do big things for this area. They've got brought back money that is desperately needed in this area, whether it's for road work or things of that nature. So in my opinion, they've both been a good example of reaching across the aisle to get things done.
Now, and I'll get more into politics in a minute, but let's just be talking about being a decent human being. And I think it's great because Munising Fire Department works with the Forsyth Fire Department. You're a volunteer firefighter along with Mike Kirkwood and Phil Kirkwood, things like that. When you lose such a young man that loved being a firefighter, what does that do to your department when you're a bunch of volunteers and you realize how real this can be? Because it doesn't happen a lot, but it still can happen. What does that do to your group in Forsyth when you do lose a person like Ben?
Well, it was devastating to our whole community. We COVID was just literally starting that day, when it wide news and everything. So we were already in the first steps of stepping back from social gatherings. But we felt it was really important that the town had a chance to grieve together. So we basically did a procession from the funeral home through town, and as the boulevard, and there's a large stretch, and I will tell you that people were from New Swansea. It was
beautiful. It absolutely was beautiful.
And it was very moving to see. I'm sorry.
No.
People weeping in the streets, and it was just such a wonder. He was such a wonderful human being from such a great family, and he was always the firefighter who volunteered to go to the school and teach fire safety to the kids, all that kind of stuff. And he was truly a member of our community who had made himself known at such a very early age.
Right.
So with respect to the department, I think it brought the department together, and you'd see a lot of cars at the fire hall all the time, guys and gals from our department just needing to be around each other.
You're absolutely right. Joe Boogren joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, as he's running for the 109th seat. Is there a time where you can announce this too early that you're going to run? Is there such thing as, I'm throwing my hat in right now and it's
Right.
just too early? Do you think about things like that?
Yeah, and it's definitely a process and a decision to make. And in my own naivete, there's a big difference between being a Forsyth Township supervisor, which
Right.
which I do consider to be an important job, and I take it seriously. This is a whole nother level, and I took advice from a number of people who have been through this before, because in my mind I kind of went, gosh, that's 18 months away. It seems like I just voted for Sarah last week.
Right.
But on the advice of many people in politics and in some other walks of life, said this is now the time. And now, having done it, and I talk about it, or you see all the different communities you need to get to, all the different people you need to know. 18 months is going to go by fast, and I need to have time to reach out, meet people, know the people from across the district at a more personal level. And there's so much to learn, to be prepared. My intention is to, when I go to Lansing, I'm going to be ready on day one. I'm going to know what the things are that move the needle to our people in this district, and I'm going to be prepared to fight for them.
And I'm glad you say our district, because that includes Forsyth Township and Marquette, Alger, Schoolcraft. It's one of the things where you represent this area, especially here in Munising, and the people that watch us on Coffee with Casey. You see the graphic up on the screen with Lewis and Schoolcraft counties as well. I don't want no disrespect by me forgetting them, but it's just, or not mentioning them, not forgetting them, but not mentioning them. But when you take your talents and you go across the Upper Peninsula, and you talked about being in the Navy, and I've been on battle cats. I've been in San Diego. Where were you stationed, by the way?
All over the world. Most of my time was overseas.
Okay.
Spain, Scotland, garden spots.
Right.
A lot of time in the Middle East.
Okay.
Some time in Japan. A lot of time.
Did you have
in the
a
Balkans.
favorite spot? Like a beautiful spot?
I did 2 tours in Spain. I did one when I was enlisted and one after I got my commission.
Okay.
And I'm very partial to southern Spain.
Okay.
It's kind of like the UP of Spain. It really is.
Okay. Well, first, and I should have led that. Thank you for your service, because not everybody can do what people like you have done and gone overseas and fought for the country. So thank you for your service. What do you do that you transition? You're Forsyth Township supervisor. You're on part of the school board. From your training in the Navy, how do you apply that to everyday life and running for a candidacy? And when I say that, you've been on the front lines. You know what the Navy needs. You know what the Army needs. You know what our armed forces needs. How do you apply that when you go into Lansing?
Sure. I think that from the perspective of the township, when I'm dealing with police, first responders, EMS, time in combat, you can kind of understand the mindset, and you can, we were talking about Ben's passing, and I could tell people that needed more than what they were willing to admit to. From another perspective, one of my assignments was as the commander of a Navy base, and I think that gave me a good ability to see the big picture, and everything from budgeting to prioritizing needs, and making sure that we're addressing the most important things first.
What are some of your philosophies as you move forward, the things that you want to drive home that will resonate with the voter?
Well, I'm a believer that and there's an interesting issue coming up, and that's this redistricting committee. So who knows what's going to happen? The one thing I do believe that will be for sure is that Alger and Marquette will remain together in the 109th.
Right.
Probably Schoolcraft too. There's some population loss on the west side and the southern side, so there's going to be some movement. So we'll see what happens. But specific to our areas, and as the district as I know it now, I believe that we are rooted in mining and timber, and we need to protect the jobs that come along with that. There's a lot of issues around, and hey, I'm all about tourism. Nobody knows tourism better than this area.
Right.
You have the most picturesque natural thing in Michigan. I mean, there's the two grandest things in the state of Michigan are the Mackinac Bridge and Pictured Rocks, and I don't think I challenge anybody to argue with me on that. So we've got to we've got to find a way to protect the natural splendor of the area we live in while also facilitating responsible commerce. When I'm downstate on other issues, I always try to make people understand we in the Upper Peninsula, we're conservationists. We use the land, we harvest the land, and we want it to always be there for us and for our descendants. So
Right.
we're not irresponsible about it. It kind of chirps me when when somebody who doesn't understand what we're doing up here is harping on foresting and things like that, and they don't understand how responsible foresting has been done for the last 70 years. I mean, it's been being done for 200,
Right.
but in the last 70 years, the UP and the people who are doing that work have a tremendous record of reforesting, preventing forest fires by
Right.
harvesting timber when it's time to harvest timber. So
The things that make me mad, and it has nothing to do with politics or whatever, but when you talk about nature, is when paradise closes because of people not taking care of it, or you see waterfalls closing because the natural area is now being trampled on, and people
Right.
are just dumping trash, things like that. Like, you're supposed to go in there and make it look like it's been untouched. And I really think people have really taken advantage of that. And I don't know how we go about changing that, but just in paradise here in it was last October-ish when they closed the road down to Paradise. That's devastating because it's such a picturesque area, but people are taking advantage of it. And it's frustrating for a guy like me that likes going out there and seeing that things where
Right.
you have other people just ruin it for others.
yeah, and there's some discussion going on after last year. Last year was so non-standard, and when we became the region that you could visit, people came in troves. And I think, I'd like to see the DNR reinvest in those kind of campaigns that I used to see when I was a kid that were like, leave it the way you found it, kind of things like that. Because my perception, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is that last year was ridiculously
Record setting, 100% record setting.
and record setting probably in the amount of debris and other things that were left behind. And
We went to the end of Sand Point, and I was always picking up trash that was near the trash can or in
Right.
the woods. I was like, guys, it's right here.
Right.
So I was actually picking it up and putting it in because you want to make it look nice. And just pick up your wrappers, pick up your cans, like your plastic water bottles, just throw it away. It's right here. And people are, I don't want to say they're lazy, but other people just don't care about the environment or the natural beauty that the Upper Peninsula has, like the Yoopers do. And I feel like, and I'm an honorary Yooper. I was told that you have to live here longer than where you lived your previous. I'm up here 14 years, but the first 25 years I spent downstate because I was born and raised there.
Right.
So I kind of, at this point, consider myself an honorary Yooper. We're close on time. Anything else you'd like to hit on before we take off?
I'd just like to thank you for having me here. As you may or may not know, this is kind of the homeland for my family. This is where my family made contact when they came from Sweden. And in Elger County's first ever election held in 1883, my great grandfather August Boogren was elected the first sheriff of Elger County.
That's awesome.
So it's good to be here. I've always had other than losing football games when I was in high school to Munising 2 years in a row, one of them here in my senior year.
Right.
Other than that, the area holds a very special place in my heart.
Joe Boogren running for the 109th, which in 18 months you'll be able to vote on.
There you go.
Thank you for joining us and coming down to Gallery Coffee Company. Please enjoy your stay and walk around. It's not raining or anything like that, so please enjoy your stay while you're here.
Thank you, Casey.
Joe Boogren right here on Coffee with Casey. We'll take our final time out, come back, and finish the show right after this.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber because 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. And 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
How would you like to start a new job at $21.87 an hour with benefits from day one, including 401k match and pension? You need to check out Neenah. Neenah, a paper-making company with a proud heritage of over 100 years in business. Are you ready to hit the ground running? $21.87 an hour for the first 90 days, benefits from day one, and a match 401k. Check out nina.com/careers and search for their hourly job openings in Munising.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the Payment Protection Program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Thinking about upgrading the bedroom carpet or the floor in your home? Now is the perfect time to get a quote from Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore. Flynn's Flooring is locally owned to give you the personal attention you deserve, from carpet to hardwood, or maybe even a vinyl or tile floor. Flynn's Flooring will sit down and go over options with you. So, what are you waiting for? Call and set up an appointment with Flynn's Flooring today at 387-1993.
This is the Alger General Agency Munising Minute, powered by Rome Media. Christmas planning is beginning early in the UP as the Michigan Department of Technology, Management, and Budget is looking for the next Christmas tree for the Capitol grounds in December. Since Michigan DTMB took over the Christmas tree responsibilities for the state, 23 of 34 trees have come from the Upper Peninsula. The last Upper Christmas tree came from Iron Mountain in 2019. Michigan's DTMB's Kristen Herman explains why finding the perfect tree starts early.
The state of Michigan looks for a Christmas tree every year. We start early in the summer because we want residents to help us. We need them while they're out traveling, visiting their properties, to keep their eyes peeled for the perfect tree. And for us, the perfect tree has a few criteria. So we're looking for a spruce or a fir tree. It needs to be at least 60 feet tall with a trunk that's no bigger than 30 inches. We require it to be easily accessible from the road with no interference of wires and available to the state at no cost. DTMB works with the Michigan Association of Timbermen and Great Lakes Timber Professionals Association every year.
If you have a tree to nominate, send an email with your name, telephone number, and a picture of the Christmas tree to christmastree@michigan.gov. From the Rome Media Sports Desk, Lake Superior State has extended head hockey coach Damon Witten's contract for an extra 6 years. Witten is now locked in through the 27-28 season. The Lakers made it back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 25 years last season after Lake State won the WCHA title. The Munising Minute is brought to you by Alger General Agency, independent insurance agents you can depend on. Providing big insurance options from a local business, check out our website at algergeneralinsuranceagency.com or call us at 387-2018. For Rome Media, I am Bryce Burge.
Back to finish coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. I'd like to thank everybody that has come in today. I'd like to thank Josh Cole for being live at Miners Falls Mini Golf. You can still sign up for tomorrow's event. Either go to Hillside East, Hillside West, or show up tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. If there has to be a putt-off, we will contact you, and you'll have that putt-off after 7 p.m. tomorrow. We have 9 trophies to give away, first, second, and third place for 8 to 11. 12 to 15 and 16 and older groups. So it should be a great time tomorrow. Miners Falls Mini Golf on Saturday at Miners Falls. So I'd like to thank Josh for coming on. Also like to thank DJ Paquette, athletic director and principal at William Elementary School. William G. Mather Elementary School. I'll get that right. My kid goes there, for crying out loud. Anyway, I'd like to thank him and congratulate him on his going to be retirement here in the next couple of weeks, and getting the word out for the run walk for the 4th of July. Also like to thank Joe Boogren for coming in, who's running for the 109th. We appreciate him coming down from Gwynn to share his thoughts. So if you want to get involved with Coffee with Casey, you can get a hold of me. You saw the number on the screen. It was 387-1400 if you want to be a guest, or if you want to have a comment, we do put them up on Facebook on the screen, or if you want to be part of the show, sponsor the show, we also welcome you on that as well. So I'd like to thank everybody that has been a part of this. Bryce Birch, who's actually up in the studio, has been running up and down the stairs, fixing the cameras today. I'd like to thank everybody for being a part of the show, and thank you for watching Coffee with Casey from the Gallery Coffee Company right here, watching on Facebook Live on Rome Media, and it will be on Rome Media from here on out. So sorry, anybody that was watching the WQXO Munising page. We're now switching this over to the Rome Media Facebook Live page. I'll also like to thank everybody that watches on YouTube, listening to us on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO at WQXO.com, on SoundCloud, Spotify, and on YouTube. You've been watching Coffee with Casey from Gallery Coffee Company right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO Munising. Now back to Good Time Oldies.